source and knock it out, cause the violent snitching it by force. Let's knock it out. So throw those fists in the air, cause inception in the spirit, any spirit in the air. Let's knock it out. Yo, we fighting back in here through witnessing and prayers. Evolution is here. Let's knock it out. So throw those fists in the air, cause inception in the spirit, any spirit in the air. Let's knock it out. Yo, we fighting back in here through witnessing and prayers. Evolution is here. We in the ring like a spiritual square circle with lyrics or shared virtue, but critics are there first to critically criticize minimal kids the worst use. But we ain't trying to see physical ways to turn to, cause I'm battling with flesh and bone or blood, but principalities, so you best to know that Jesus Christ, so make sure that our debt is gone. He's all natural, you can't get a clone. So what's the pressing and stressing? Yo, we knock it out. And what's gossip and nonsense? Yo, we knock it out. Bickering and bitterness? Yo, we knock it out. Anything that ain't a witness of God, we knock it out. This is the time to defeat the prankster, but rely on God. Don't you try to be the master, don't let pride.
Hi, my name's Sifu Mark. I'm here with Sifu Sean Talbot and Crew Joe Dobie. We're going to do the green belt video for the APLEA Krav Maga program. First of all, I thought it would be good to give you guys some drills that we do in our school in case you are a distance learning student or you're an affiliate school that is looking for some ideas of stuff to do. Drills helps. One of the things that's valuable about drills is it gives in Krav Maga a way to apply concepts. And also, we do a lot of stress drills too, which a lot of our training drills are part of our stress drills, so this might give you some ideas, as well as these are just concepts that you need to learn in Krav Maga. The first one we're going to do is a Retsev concept, and this comes from, we call it the straight blast drill. Straight blast comes from Wing Chun Kung Fu. It also is in Jeet Kune Do. Funny story, I learned the punching in Wing Chun, but I actually learned this drill in my Krav Maga training, so we're going to do that here today. Basically what the idea of straight blast is, come here, John. I'm going to pick a guy who's ready. You look ready. Alright, so the idea of straight blast is that in the initial fight, you're not close enough, maybe, okay? You do something and you tag them, you're still having to close the distance. In Krav Maga, you want to close the gap as fast as possible to get control. Alright? Obviously, if you can escape, that's what you're trying to do, but for the purpose of what we're trying to do now with straight blast, I'm trying to get in close and get head control. So, how that would work is he throws a punch, right? I block and I move in, right? And now maybe I begin to start striking. So I'm going to punch 1, 2, 3. Now the first time I punch, maybe I'm out here. Now the second time I can get in closer, third time, and now I can get head control. So we're going to do the drill. Let's get everybody partner up. And we're going to grab a pad. We're going to start right here on this edge here. The person punching is standing this way. The person holding the pad is going to be this way. We're going to grab a partner. One pad for 2 people. Alright, so what we're going to do right now is basically, the idea of straight blast is just jabs. Okay, it's a jabbing motion, but you're also going to push forward or press forward, which is a Retsev concept. Alright, Retsev means pressure. You want to keep pressure on the bad guy. So when I say go, most of you guys have done this before, but when I say go, you're going to begin throwing these straight punches. The person with the pad is going to back up all the way to that side of the room at a pretty good speed so that the person punching has to kind of work to keep up. Once you get to the end, we're going to turn around. The same person's going to go back. All right? Ready? Begin punching. Good. Turn around. Go ahead. Go out and just go back. Alright, switch. Let the other person go. Alright, so the next level of this, what we're going to do is we're going to actually work, so you're striking, and now you're catching up to the guy. You're closing the gap where you need to be. Now we have head control. So we're going to simulate that. Sean, come here real quick. With his pad, with your pad. Just stand right here.
The silver spot?
Yeah, that's fine. So I'm punching, alright, he's moving back. Once I get to the point where he stops, the person holding the pad is going to stop periodically from this side of the room to that side of the room. every time he stops, it's basically a simulation of you had an effective strike or effective couple strikes, and you got your desired effect. Now you have head control. So this in weapon and target flow drill would be ear clap, headbutt, eye gouge, elbow. So you're going to do that with the pad. So we're going to do it without moving, just so you can see this on camera. So punching simulates a stop, ear clap, headbutt, eye gouge, elbow. I'm going to do it the other side so you can see it. So simulated, we're moving, we stop moving. Elbow, right? And then he starts moving again. All right? Ready, guys? Begin punching. You guys stop periodically at your own time. This also develops sensitivity for the person training Krav Maga. Try to stop a couple, 3 times each way. Excellent. All right, good job, guys. All right, next drill we're going to do, this is what I like to call a one-handed drill, okay? I like to use this drill in class basically for anytime you're in a situation you might not have both hands available. It's nice in Krav Maga if you get attacked and you have both hands available, you have good shoes on, you're in a position where you can move around. All those are great, but we want to train for worst-case scenarios. Maybe you're carrying a human head, or or something like that. Let me just grab this for a second. So I might be carrying something in one hand. Maybe it's a child, maybe it's a bag, something like that. But basically with one hand, you're going to do all of your blocking and attacking. You don't have the ability to do vertical sweep with one hand and punch with the other hand. So what we're going to do is let's see, we got a good amount of people. Let's work in groups of 3 or 4. One person is going to be the defender. The others are going to be attackers. You're just going to either throw a straight punch or a circular punch. The person in the middle is going to basically, so he throws an attack, I'm going to do this, and then I can touch the head. Don't counter punch, block, and attack. And then you basically do that. This one hand, just put behind you so you don't use it on accident. All right? Get into groups. We're going to do about each person, somebody, if you've done this before, go first. The attackers can move around, they don't have to be stationary. Your objective is to clear center line and counterattack. All right, switch.
All right, switch.
You can work a drill like this with any different combination of techniques. You can do it with specific kicks, specific blocks, different types of punching. But it's a great way to add a little bit of stress because you don't have your ability to block and attack with the other hand.
Person in the middle, work on your structure. Keep your structure solid.
All right, excellent. For what we'll do for the next thing, everybody grab a pad and just kind of stand over there and I'm going to explain this real quick. Big pad, little pad, doesn't matter. This next drill, there's hundreds of variations you can do with it. When I first was taught this, my instructor taught it to me as circle of iron training. So the idea is, you have multiple people involved. This is not a multiple attacker scenario. What it basically is, though, is it gets your Krav Maga student able to attack different directions because you're not always going to be facing the guy that you're fighting. He's going to come from the side. He's going to come from behind you. There definitely will be multiple attackers involved, but this just at a very low level. You can do it with pads. I do this drill with kids as well as the adult program. You can do it with pads. You can also do this with attacks, kind of like we were doing. You put one person in the middle, and everybody just takes turns attacking. You can do it with specific defenses like headlocks and chokes. So there's hundreds of variations for this drill, but I think it should be a part of your Krav Maga training. So, all right, so everybody get in a big circle. Yeah, I'm gonna have Jason go first. All right, so what I like to say too, if it's a big pad, you're kicking it. If it's a small pad, you're doing some kind of a punch, elbow, or whatever. Go ahead. We'll get a few of you guys a chance to go do this. Good, switch. New person in the circle. Go. Good, switch. Next person. This also will give a chance for the instructor to check their structure, make sure they're keeping their hands up, make sure their Krav Maga is doing what you want it to do. All right, excellent. All right, you guys can put the pads away. We're going to keep rolling here. All right. This next drill, we're going to roll out. A couple of you guys will roll 3 of those big pads out. Let me take 2 things. This is another Retsev drill. The straight blast drill that we did, we called it a Retsev drill. Retsev is a concept of Krav Maga. It basically means pressure. The idea, and this is not just Krav Maga exclusive, this is for all martial arts. If you're going to win a fight, you have to keep the pressure on the bad guy. If you fail to do that, I mean, for over 20 years, I've been in a lot of martial arts tournaments where I've watched schools will come in with their students, and the ones that showed the most aggression, either one of 2 things happen. Either they get disqualified for too much aggression, or they sweep the tournament. So this is something, there's a huge amount of strategy involved in this, and basically you want to implement that strategy in your whole Krav Maga experience. So I'm going to actually have Crew Joe Dobie show this Retsev drill, because he's an expert at this stuff. Go ahead. You can talk if you want to explain to what you're doing. Excellent. That's good. Now, what are you doing? What is this all about? What are you doing?
The concept is figuring out how to keep all quadrants of your body moving together. So, if you're moving, keep the pressure moving forward. Keep pushing them back. Disrupt the thought process. Keep them off track. And try to open yourself up a window to get into the further steps that we have for Krav Maga. As you're moving, you want to keep your body flowing. Flow is a very, very important part of our Krav Maga idea. So we want to move kind of like a metronome for a piano. As we sweep back, we have to return back through it. Keep that pressure moving forward. Keep their mind disturbed. Keep them thinking about getting hit and not hitting back.
Cool. Excellent. So, and then the application, you might obviously, the application of this drill, you wouldn't necessarily do it repetitively over and over and over again, but you might start with, a round kick, punch, punch, and now you've closed the gap. You hit them low, you hit them high, or vice versa. You throw a couple punches, now they're ready for those punches, now you throw the round kick. So you can see how it has a direct application just like a weapon target flow drill. Alright, so let's just kind of get in a line, and we're just going to go through real quick. Everybody's going to go for about 15 seconds. I'll just say switch. Alright, 3 people on the bag. And begin. Excellent. Switch. Sorry.
Nice job.
Go. Good. Keep breathing, guys. Keep breathing. 3, 2, 1. Break. Switch out. Okay, if we got it. And who hasn't gone? Who wants to go again? All right. So we get busy classes. Sometimes we have to confine space a little bit. Part of another good measure for the RETCEP drill is running doubles on the bags. It's going to teach you timing. Senior students, take this side of the bags, please. Junior students, take this side of the bag.
He called you old.
All right, guys. Seniors, let the other side start. Get your timing. Join in. We're going to go for 30 seconds. Go. Join. Work together, guys. Work together.
You guys can put those in the back to where they were. All right, so another thing these standalone kicking bags are great for, you can get them at Century, is basically they're great for setting up obstacles and having people go around them and do scenarios. You can create walls out of them. We've done all different types of things with these types of bags. We'll have people, like we might have one guy hitting on the bag, doing a specific punching or kicking, and then have a guy behind him. We say break. Guy turns around and you have to engage the person that's attacking you. So there's a lot of different ways we can use drills effectively in Krav Maga. So those are just to give you a little bit of an idea if you're not part of our headquarters school or if an affiliate instructor that's trying to implement curriculum in your school. So, all right, next I'm going to have Sifu Sean explain two different techniques, hand techniques. Now, when we first were introduced to Krav Maga has tries to limit the amount of techniques that are involved in blocking because if you have too many, under stress you're not going to be able to deploy any of them. But there's two that you need to basically be able to do. We find that the longer we do this and the more students we teach, different size students, different scenarios, we have been adding back in some of those other blocks that were initially pulled out because of the fact that they're necessary. Because you're not always starting the fight here. If you're always starting to fight here, one block is sufficient. Or 2 blocks is sufficient, but if you're not, you need some other options. So Sean's going to come in and explain some of those options.
Thank you. Like Sifu Mark said, one of the things we do in Wing Chun, or in Krav Maga is similar to what we do in Wing Chun. We get stuff in the way. We put it in the middle, we get it in the way, and then we work from there. Who wants to punch me? I know somebody's in this. I kind of had a feeling. All right. Wing arm and reverse check are 2 things that we use. So as a punch comes, we can deflect it a little bit by letting it go in a certain direction. If he hits me, that's okay. Once that contact's made, I can work from that. But it hurts. We don't want that. So as a punch comes, we can let that direction, let that power from the opponent go in the direction that he wants to take it. Slow. We put something up there. If it's coming this direction and going there more, I let it go and assist it in that direction. As it goes, I can keep him going in that direction. Go ahead again. Same punch. Boom. I can keep it going in that direction by catching it from the rear and pulling it that way and capitalizing on it as he goes by. So a little bit faster. Same one. Boom. Again. Boom. Other one. Boom. Boom. We keep our structure solid. We allow that to move. This probably would have caught me in the face. What I could have done, as I caught it, was go the reverse. So as it comes, I catch it here. If it's going that direction, I let it go this way. If it's going the other direction, that one I would have just brought down. If it's going that direction, I let it go that way. So the first thing to do is get something in the way, throw the punch. I get it here, and look, it naturally went offside. I would have helped it along if I'd been thinking about it, but as it gets there, it just naturally goes. normally it's going to go where it wants to. If he's putting the power so it goes this way, it's slow. Wait a minute. Wait till I tell you. As it's coming, make it go that way. It's going to go that way anyway. All I'm doing is letting it roll with it. And then I can capitalize and get on the inside. So now I don't know what he's going to throw, which hand he's going to throw. I'm putting stuff up. Go ahead. Putting stuff up, getting in the way. This one, just move to the side as a reverse, or as a regular check. Reverse check. Oop, that was something totally different. Go ahead, whatever you want. Boom. Check, check. Wing arm. Something different. I don't know. Just call that. I would have caught that one and followed in with it. The other one, punch again. If I can get it this way, this is kind of like a we call it a pulling hand or a reverse check kind of a thing. So as it's coming, I get it going this way, and now I can keep it going, and look at where I wind up. Not exactly a reference point 1 or a reference point 2, but look at, I'm on the outside, and I can light him up with a lot of things from here. Matter of fact, he's in a great position for a takedown.
Excellent. All right, Joe, that was great. So just keep in mind, like basically, if stuff coming at you, your hands are here. Boom, you're moving out of the way. It could also work for any other front attack coming at you, like two-handed choke or anything like that. Crew Joe Dobie's going to now explain reference point takedowns. We haven't talked about that in previous videos yet, so we're going to talk about that now.
All right, looking at the idea of reference point, we're going to split the body right down in half. I know we've kind of probably covered this in other videos, but if I'm here, I'm in reference point 1. If I'm on this side, I'm still in reference point 1. We do the same thing with the back of the body. This is reference point 2. This is reference point 2. All this is the beginning of an area for me to get control. I'm not going to hunt for a specific one when I get there. I'm just going to end up there. So if we looked at it from the idea of weapon and target flow drill, we know that eventually we end up here and locking in with our partner. This gives us access to the groin, to strike, breaks down the structure of their body, and places them in a position where I can take them down and get control of their body. Okay, to do that, my hand is going to switch from the seam of the shirt. Once he's broken down, I'm going to reach to the back of the head. I'm just going to push and make a J with my hand. So he's here, strike, push, and drop the person down. If I leave this big gap, he can get up. I need to get control by taking the arm into my body and sinking down onto him. By pushing him forward, it makes it a lot tougher for him to unfold. It gives me access to strike those vital points, those soft points, ears, eyes, nose, throat if I need it. If I have to, I can break away. From here, if I need to bring him over, I can put him into a control point. One of the important parts of control for us with the takedown is also the idea that if I have control, I can get away. It's the same idea from the back. We end up in reference point 2. We're here. Again, I don't want to leave this big gap. Turn this way. If I'm here and he goes forward, I've got nothing. I want to change the structure of his body, bring his shoulder in tight again, and take control of him. If I need to, I can get a hold of the head, put him down, and again apply that pressure. Or, stand. If I'm here, strike, break him down, and continue that pressure. Good job. Cool. Thank you, sir. Good smash.
All right, we're going to talk, remember about Sean again, we're going to talk about gun from behind. The last video we talked about gun on the side. We'll actually get to practice one a little bit, and I'm gonna show you a couple of them real quick, and then I'm gonna let the students practice, and you can kind of see them practicing it a little bit. The goal, again, in weapons defense is not just doing the technique properly. It's the concepts are more important than the techniques. For example, a concept of gun defense, we've talked about this in other videos, is you want to control, once you obviously clear the line of fire, you want to be able to control the weapon, and then you want to disarm the weapon and then get to the distance, get to reactionary distance. So Gun to the back is very dangerous. There's a lot of different ways. There's a lot of, I've seen it probably 4 or 5 different ways all from Krav Maga, very authentic, experienced experts in Krav Maga. So I'm going to show you the way that we do it. Basically the problem is, okay, the guy's pointing a gun to your back, all right, is that as soon as I move, the gun is going off. So you have to practice this over and over and over again. Also, if you have a chance you're hoping that the guy is paying attention as much as you don't want to be doing stuff like raising your hands. I don't like raising my hands, and the reason why, I know some people teach it that way, but the reason why I don't like it is because once you put your hands out here, they're very visible. Obviously, if a police officer pulls somebody over, the first thing they want to see is your hands, because once your hands are out here, they know exactly where they are. So if you have to put your hands up, I recommend putting them up like this. By the way, I'm just going to give we did this in the last video, gun to the side, and we went at a 45-degree angle and we took the gun away this way. If it's gun to the side where your hand is in front, this is identical to gun to the back. So I'm going to show gun to the back right now, okay? It's here, all right? Basically, doesn't matter which way I turn, I'm turning in and my hand is wrapping up here. My other hand's here. I have 360 degrees of control on the weapon. I'll show you the other way. Here, 1, right? Now I'm gonna do some damage. Now you don't want to go to town and hit him 4 or 5 times because you will forget that you're fighting a guy with a weapon, and this guy could escape. Okay? The priority is the weapon in this situation. So once I'm here, I hit him. He's a little bit taken off guard. I'm gonna go for the weapon. My thumb goes down here. I break, take, and get away. Reactionary distance. With a knife, I'm just gonna show you with a knife because I'm gonna have you guys practice both. Again, you might not know what's happening to you, okay? The guy's behind you, he's yelling stuff. I feel something in my back, and if I'm in the Northeast right now, and if it's cold outside, I have multiple layers, you might not be able to tell, oh, that's definitely a gun pointing in my back, or that's definitely a knife, all right? You don't really know. Another thing I recommend is, let's say I'm here at the ATM machine, and all of a sudden something happens, a guy pushes something into you, just to glance back. It could be the difference of seeing 1 guy versus 5 guys, all with weapons, all right? That might change what you're going to do. So, again, the same principle. It doesn't matter which way unless he's holding on. If he's holding on with the other hand, I can't go this way because he could stop me. I'm going to go the easiest way, all right? Now, there's a couple different ways, close and far, all right? So, I'm going to show you the far one first. Don't hold on for this one, right? So, when I turn in, all right, and I move in, and I'm going to wrap. If you can see that in the camera here, actually go this way. The exact same thing. So when I turn here, right, my hand comes up here. My secondary hand comes here. Again, like Joe was explaining, you pull this arm right in nice and tight. I hit. Now, from here, I'm not going to do this like I would do with a gun. It doesn't make sense. Plus, the fact is that you're going to get cut. All right, so you don't even deal with this. This is where you would strike, all right, and then this is also where you could take the guy right down. All right, take the guy down to the ground. From here, now I can disarm. All right, now I can disarm the knife and I can get away. All right, another option. Okay, let's come back here a little bit. All right, from this position, I move in, hit, right? I explode into action. Instead of trying to do a takedown, I can also take the guy out from here. All right, that's called a termination. That's obviously the most lethal option. That's something you only want to do if your life is threatened. So, all right, go ahead, grab a knife or a gun and a partner and practice. All right, okay.
Thank you. See how it naturally is there? Now you wrap up, pull that, reach in, pull that in tight. Extend it or fix it. Doesn't really matter, you want to turn it. Here, you're going to wrap it up. See how it pulls you off? And I see that knife there. Start doing things to affect your structure. I can step back, kick towards the knee, turn her down, reach in here, grab her by the face, set her down, controlling that knife. Controlling that. Now here, now. keep that arm extended. You give her room here, bend your arm a little bit. Now she can work you around. She can stab you. If you bring this in, have her grab the wrist. Now you got a little bit more control. You can stretch her out a little bit. If you can get up here, you can stretch her out more. Pull them in. Now, keep your structure good. When she has lean, you don't want to hurt her. So for the demonstration, you push the lean this way. For real, go right into that one. Quack! Sideways. And at that point, you get behind her. Extend it. Take it right. Very careful.
Try and do it. That's the natural inclination of mine. Grab up here. I'll do this. After you walk that wrist up, and then you push. And take it back. After you right. Don't let me take it. Push. It's going to open your finger and that'll provide. I start to pull back.
And also blocking have coverage when I was
All right. You're never gonna get. It's going to be right up under that palm. Push.
All right, Joe. Go.
Walk under that wrist. There you go.
I'm not sure what you did. My fingers didn't open like the computer.
Awesome. All right, break. All right, we're going to transition a little bit. We're still going to stick with the idea of knife. We're going to look at committed angles of attack. All right? So, thank you. That's what you want to happen with a knife, right? You just hold your hand out and the attacker gets it to you. We have a couple of different ideas with knives. We have straight attacks, where it's a stab, or we have a committed angle of attack, where there's slashing. We're going to look at the second one. We've talked about in earlier videos the idea of 360-degree defense. If it's coming out, I want to get something up in the way to block it. As I do so, I need to be disrupting their thought process and getting control of the arm. Return. Sometimes you're going to end up in a position where the arm ends up over. Sometimes you're going to end up in a position where the arm ends up underneath. Either way is fine. If we end up here, we're still going to treat it the same. We're still in reference point 1. I'm still going to bring the shoulder in, and I'm going to attack their thought process, keep them from thinking about the fact that they've got that knife, take them down and do the disarm. So as that committed attack comes in, we're going to stop with 360 defense, strike, wherever you have opportunity to hit, eyes, ear, throat, whatever. The important thing is, like Sean had talked about earlier, follow the sensitivity of that pressure. If my arm is here and his hand is heading down, I'm just going to let it flow through and lock up that arm. Pull him in and strike. If it's a lower committed angle, it's a block. I'm going to continue that flow up, grab control, strike, and we'll disarm when we get to the ground. We don't want to get so caught up in the idea of, holy crap, he's got a knife, that I'm going to start working to get it away up here and fighting for it and get all cut up. This is the weapon I have to worry about. This is secondary. So do some damage, put him down, get control, take the weapon away. Deal with knives on the ground with you standing in control of them. Don't fight for them up in the air. Very, very rarely will we go for a knife standing up. All right? We've done a couple of tries, guys.
Practice.
He's blocking? I'm kicking.
You're being more aggressive. You're being the guy wearing the shin guards. He's going to explain that.
Okay. I do. These are good to run out and shoot.
Okay, that's in the process of learning. So I attack. Yeah, come attack me. I'm gonna block it up here, okay? Now from here, I'm not gonna go, hey, how's it going? I'm gonna take it out of your hand. I don't want that. This is what I've gotta do, right? I've gotta start making her think, or crap. Weapon, target, flow drill, red set mentality. So I've gotta do something here. So this will come across, I'll punch her in the face if I can, and tie this up. See her structure when that happens? Attack again. I block it and attack at the same time. I hit her in the face, or hit her in the head, somewhere in the neck, the throat, the mouth, something like that. That gets her thinking. And then as soon as I'm here, I do this. And you see her whole structure move? Because it's not a nice, gentle, I want to get into it. Okay? It's swing a knife, pretend, boom, boom. See how you're messed up? That makes you go, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? So you've got to block the knife from coming in, and then you attack, and then bring her in. And then from here, this is almost like Crew Joe Dobie said, it's almost secondary. I'm going to keep that tied up so she can't do anything there, but boom, and take her down. And now that she's down, you can work on taking her away. When she's up in the air, you don't want to do that. All right, nice job.
Alright, so
Bring it in.
next Joe's gonna actually, or I'm sorry, Sean is actually gonna explain a little bit about low line kicking and low line defending. Just real quick introduction to it is that, keep in mind, a lot of schools don't cover this because it's not something that happens all the time. Obviously, depending on how long you have to learn Krav Maga, you might deal with this if you're doing sparring and competitions a lot more, where you're dealing with more of an advanced martial arts person that you're fighting. However, the ability to use low line kicks is a great asset because, again, you punch somebody in the face enough times, that's not going to be an available target. So knowing how to hit other areas in addition to the groin. Obviously, they don't take priority over the groin and the eyes and stuff, but basically it's just other options to have in case one is not there. So go ahead.
All right, just want to explain that you got to understand why Sifu Mark gets Crew Joe Dobie and I confused. We look an awful lot alike. Part of the red set mentality is going low to high or high to low, not getting concentrated on too much on one area, because if it's coming, the attack is coming to one area, you start to realize it and then work towards that, and it gives the other person less of an advantage. So, if I'm working up here and he's catching on that I'm working up here, I can throw a couple low kicks and maybe distract him a little bit, and then attack up here. Now, he's more experienced, better, faster, stronger than I am, and he's throwing kicks at me. Boom. I'm going to bring my knee to my belly button. Every time. I don't care what it's happening, where he's kicking, I'm bringing my knee to my belly button. If it's a rounder kick, coming, bring my knee to my belly button. He's kicking me here, that's affecting me. But I can move in. So as the kick comes, I move in. I'm not moving in with my hands down by my sides. That was more for demonstration purposes. Plus I forgot. So as it happens, see what's happening? I'm blocking the kicks up and I'm getting towards control. Hopefully I can make enough damage going on and attack from here. Crew Joe Dobie mentions a few times that I should quit hanging on his ears. So I kick him in the shins a little bit. Now, I'm a human dachshund. I've got legs about this long, right? So I'm not going to be able to do those nice kicks where you can kick high. Lost a little bit of weight because I can kick a little bit higher than I used to. But I can't kick that high. And I certainly can't kick that high effectively. Anything above here, this position, I'm almost ineffective. And I'm certainly making myself a target for stepping in or anything else. My structure is completely fouled up. Mine, I've got tiny little legs. But I can do this all day long. Okay. So I can kick towards the shins and in the groin area all day long. Sometimes without him even seeing it, because my hands are right there in his face. And if his feet come up to kick me, I move my knee to my belly button. I don't have to worry about if they're coming to the side. I don't worry about them only because as they come, I'm stepping in. I'm stepping in, keeping my hands up. Kick comes normal, any kick, knee to my belly button. Any kick, knee to my belly button. gonna deflect 90 to 95% of the kicks. Is it gonna make them ineffective? No. Crew Dobie, I'm saying it better,
There you go.
can kick like a monster. Look at his legs. You know, I've got short little squatty legs, but they're short. Those legs are built for kicking. And as he gets them up high and starts driving me around, he can push me in different directions. Here's the thing. Kick, roundhouse kind of kick, I can step in. Does that stop me? Boom. Kick, any kick. Boom, boom. It doesn't stop me. I'm not gonna let that stop me. It might hurt, but it's not gonna damage me because I'm driving in. Low kicks are more distractors to get higher. Remember Retsev? We talked about Retsev. Crew Dobie can Retsev all over me. Boom, 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 boom. All I can do, go ahead, elbow up, knee up to the belly button, and drive straight in. Remember? We were talking about that pineapple core. This is the pineapple core. The head straight down to the floor. This doesn't exist. There's nothing here. That doesn't mean you can't attack it. Is there a significant size difference? When I attack that tiny little, that invisible spot, what happens there? I didn't attack Crew Dobie. I attacked that spot. And it made him move a little bit. It compromised his structure a little bit. Remember, he's bigger, faster, stronger, more experienced than I am. I have to do what I can do to be able to be as effective as possible. I have to face him and attack that pineapple core. If I hit him here, he's still able to attack with a weapon without even really moving. He can still attack all day long. Same thing with the leg. Doesn't matter. So when I attack towards the center, that pineapple core, that middle. So now if I attack the center here, even if he reaches out and attacks while I'm attacking him, I get some who gets more. His structure is being compromised more. Boom, boom.
Awesome. All right, so cool. We're gonna move on from there. Normally we'd have more time to practice that, but we're gonna cover headlocks briefly. John, who are you? All right, headlocks. We've covered chokes before. Headlocks are similar to chokes. Headlock can become a choke very quickly. So the idea is that a headlock is pretty much the beginning of the choke. So you want to treat it the same way. Our priority level is being able to breathe first. That's the most important thing. And then from there, once we're able to breathe, we want to get out of the situation, and then we're going to cause damage, and then we're gonna flip the table on him, hopefully. So here, come over here so we can get. So first one we're gonna do is from the front, headlock from the front. So he gets my head here. So actually, let's turn this way a little bit. All right, so my head is here, and he's pulling up, and I'm losing my air really quickly. So I need to pull down here. Same time, I want to strike to the groin. See, my hand is going through to hit the groin. From there. Let's turn this way again. So, hit. The next thing I'm doing is driving this elbow straight up. Now I'm going to get this hand wherever I can reach it. Maybe it's the throat. Maybe I can get the face. Maybe I get the nose. And as I push forward, my head is going to pop out. Okay? If you're not able to do that, and maybe you hit the groin a couple more times, maybe you just grab the groin and start twisting until he lets go. All right? There's nothing that says you have to be creative and you have to hit a different target every time. You can hit the same target multiple times. All right, you just want to have an effect. So again, here, here, and here. And then from here, this is where your Retsev striking comes in. All right, we're going to go right into the next one. Choke from behind. All right, this one, again, the problem could be that the second hand can come in very quickly, okay? So we hopefully want to react before that second hand is applied. Both these hands, here. I'm going to pull this here, get it breathing. I'm going to tuck my chin, strike the groin again, step out, and now from here, I can move in and begin to attack him. Okay? You don't want your back to the bad guy. So I'll show you one more time. Here, here, boom, and then I'm out. All right? Literally, it's a quick little circle step. That's all you're doing. Let me just show this real quickly. Do you have a knife still?
Yes.
Cool. Let me show Sean real quick. So, with a knife, it's the same principle. But now I'm dealing with a knife to my throat. So I'm gonna grab with the wrist. I'm gonna grab the wrist here, still strike here, still step. Now I've got two hands on the arm. From this position, I can drive the knife in. I can drive him to the ground. I can do more damage. I can try to take him out from the head. I particularly don't like doing that. If you're smaller than the bad guy, it's problematic. So I also like to use arm bars, arm breaks, whatever. Just don't try to take the knife away from him, standing position. All right, cool. Let's do the other one. Side headlock. All right. So we're here. Same idea. I'm here. Here, actually, let's back up a little bit. So we're here. All right. So the same thing. Hands go here. I'm striking the groin from behind. Then I'm reaching up, getting whatever I can. Ear clap, nose, eyes. As I claw at his face, I'm standing up. Hit the throat. All right? So that, you notice all three of them were the same principles. Groin first. Or actually, breathing and groin all at the same time first. And then from there, obviously, you screwed the first part up, nothing else matters. Do the first part right, it's going to make everything else easy. A lot of times when you're training with your fellow students, they fight you, and that's because you're not hitting them for real, or because they're wearing protection. So it makes it very hard to kind of make the technique work. So I just encourage you, if you have that experience, first let them know, like, hey dude, we're supposed to be simulating damage. If they just be, you know, not that it's a bad thing, they might not be trying to do it in a mean way, they're just trying to do it to make it as realistic as possible. But feel free, if you have a training partner like that, especially in a multi-training day scenario, just give them a little bit more of a hit. It'll help teach them, oh, this is more effective. And another thing about Krav Maga too is if you don't train them under stress, a lot of our Krav Maga techniques, other systems criticize them as being too simple, or they have a lot more complex option, and it seems to look better on camera. It looks better when we make videos about it and stuff. But then again, if you try it under stress, even the instructor can't perform it under stress. You know what I mean? So I shouldn't say even the instructor, maybe he can, but the question is, can your beginning student that's just walked into class, that's just trained for a month, can they make that work under stress? And if not, that's what Krav Maga is for, is the simple response. So, all right, we're going to talk. Actually, I'm going to let you guys practice that a little bit. So headlock from behind, headlock from the side, headlock from the front. Go ahead and try them out a little bit. Why don't you guys switch partners? Switch partners up a little bit.
This one I
Oh, you're
have.
gonna pull the arm down?
So,
This one you're
And then you're gonna strike the
Yeah,
groin.
but at the same time, you're gonna buck out, put your hands,
And then-
and then you're gonna
Right.
your joints in, and then you're
And
gonna take this and
then-
just, and then you're gonna roll your head.
Alright.
If you want.
No,
Make it step.
Yeah, let me,
I'm just gonna say, you
Well,
this is part of the elbow right here.
Yep.
You're gonna turn it.
Okay.
Hold your arm in here. Bang, bang.
Oh, something like that.
Pull down.
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna pull that down. And then it's kind of duck down and twist under the way.
This one?
There you go.
All right, good. All right, so now we're going to talk about the last thing we're going to talk about in this video. First, let me just hit on a couple things we're not going to cover in this video that you should cover by the time you get to green belt in Krav Maga. If you're going with the 3-month testing every 3 to 6 months, what we do here at our school is we do like yellow belt with a stripe, green belt with a stripe. So there's each belt color is an average of about 6 months if the person is in full participation. And also they're able to, they're learning the techniques. So basic idea, it depends on when you join the school. In our school, like we don't always teach things in order because we find sometimes it makes for a boring curriculum and also can shortchange the guys who've been there for a while. So if we get on topics that are thematic, like maybe you join the school and right now up to these 3 videos we haven't talked about ground. My plan is to cover ground on the next color belt. But maybe somebody joins the school on blue belt, or they join the school and you're covering ground material. You can do ground at a white belt level. You can do gun. The reason why I kind of sprinkled the gun, knife, and club techniques throughout these last 3 videos is because you can do them at all levels. The goal is, as you're increasing in your time in the school, you can do them under more and more degrees of stress. You can do them with more of a surprise factor. Maybe you're fighting one guy hand to hand, you turn, there's a knife, a gun, you know what to do with it. You don't have to be prepped by the instructor. So that is also too what you should be looking for as becoming an advanced student. Some of the things we're not going to cover on this video that is also important to look at. We've made other videos about it. Sparring, de-escalation, how to de-escalate a fight. If you know how to de-escalate a fight, 9 out of 10 fights probably will never happen. So, bar
The
security.
best thing about that is you win every single fight you never get into. Every single one.
Yeah, it's true. So, another concept that is multiple attackers. That's something that should be introduced by this point in time. You have enough material to start talking about multiple attackers, even at a very beginning level, because it's just going to happen. You're not going to fight one-on-one with anybody. So, and sparring. Sparring by the time, in our schools, by the time you're at green belt, you should already be doing some sparring. I'm just going to show you real quick. This is like our preferred helmet. Now, we don't have a specific helmet that you have to buy, but it should have a full face cage because you want to be able to have your students punch each other to the face. If you don't, what ends up happening is you cater your program to the equipment that you have. So if you don't wear groin cups, nobody's ever getting kicked to the groin. If you don't have headgear that covers the face, nobody's going to practice shooting straight punches. They're going to always do circular punches and things that hit the headgear that you have. So I also recommend a mix of MMA gloves, boxing gloves. It's up to you how you run your program, but some things MMA gloves are better for because you can do more, more disarms and stuff like that. And sometimes boxing gloves are better because it's a little bit safer and you can use a little less gear. And sometimes the beginning level student uses boxing gloves. So, anyways, we're going to talk about obstacle arm with a weapon. Now, a lot of these techniques are like I showed you with the gun from behind, a knife from behind, they're the same. All right. It's just once you realize you have a gun or a knife, it changes. So this is the same idea. Obstacle arm is, Joe here is going to be the bad guy here. Now he either has a gun or a knife. I don't know what it is. Now, in our scenarios where we have the weapon presented to you, it's close enough you can do something with the actual weapon hand. In this scenario, the obstacle is the other arm. He's too far away. If I try to reach around here and get to the weapon, I'm just gonna get caught. Okay. So our goal is to not be. We also call this the live side. Okay. This is where the most dangerous part of the fight is. This side to the back, where we try to get point of dominance. We call it the dead side, or also reference point 2 would be on that side as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to get away from the weapon. And this could also be a pre-deployment situation too, where the guy's doing this. He's pulling a weapon here and he's pushing here. So you have to get to this side. So what he's going to do as his hand comes up, you're going to grab. Now, let me just show you real quick where we're grabbing. One hand can be grabbing here. The other hand, this is the most important part, want to grab above the elbow. Right? So it might just be initially grabbing here, or it might be, depending how far away you are, you might be grabbing with that reverse check that we just learned, and now this is going to go to the head. Okay? Now one thing about this that's important is when that one hand has the elbow, the other hand has to be on the head at the same time. If you go 1, 2 and you let go of the elbow, you're not going to be able to get to the side. Now, and the other part about this is you are going about halfway and he's going halfway. You're not doing all the work and he's not doing all the work. So, again, he's here. Here's the arm. I'm going to grab the head while I still have the arm, moving to the back. Now, from this position here, just turn this way. From this position here, I might or might not have the weapon. All right? From here, I might have to take him out. Or maybe the weapon arm comes up. I might end up wrapping the arm as I take him down, which I'm not going to do, but if I have to take him down, I can wrap the arm this way. The other option you might have too, let's say it's a gun, if I get him leaning back here, I might be able to secure the weapon over the top, okay? See where my hand is? You want it affecting his breathing by hitting him in the nose, his eyes, all right, his sight, his balance, you're hitting him in the ears. These are all the weapon and target flow drill techniques, the carotid. But you basically this is the priority right here, okay? That's all I got for today. We're going to call it. And if you have any questions, feel free to send us an email. Or you can also look us up. We're all of the instructors that taught today are on Facebook. Feel free to shoot any of us a question. So we'll talk to you guys later.
through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil.
She's punching, all right? She's coming straight down the center line towards me.
Forget this day. Yet we go forward to defend freedom and all that is good and just in our world. Thank you. Good night, and God bless America.
God bless America. God bless America. God bless America. God bless America. Yeah. God bless America. The place that we live, the place full of sin, and by grace forgiven. Abortions, kids erased from within, perversions, men raping women, and we wanna take God out of the place. This is nonsense, this country just gotta repent. How can we offend God and be a people of fraud? God bless America, America bless God. Do we have to go to the days of 9/11 when half of 9/11 is not in heaven? I'm not judging, but common sense is relevant. Now we got a war and we blame the president. He's the only one to become a man within office to seek God's counsel. In the midst of all this, George Bush is pushed to reach the burning bush and pray Christ won't be overlooked. God bless America. No, America bless God. America stand up. America love God. No, America bless God. America wake up. America praise God. No, America bless God. America stand up. America love God. No, America bless God. America wake up. America praise God. In the deeds of the country, founded a call little by little. Turn around and evolve and become Americans. Let the city abroad. It's like we're in a mask. We're in of us all. Know that come before you, and I beg for mercy.